Hi, Tumblr people again. Slightly different view of Laura's bedroom. Creepy. So anyway, this is my promised interview video that I said I would make in the previous video. If it ever uploads, because I'm really not sure whether it will. Anyway, so the interview video, getting to that. Yeah, basically, the Oxford interview, if you get one, is the best and the worst experience of your entire life. And I don't mean that in a really dramatic way, like it is the most exciting experience of your life, and it is also the most terrifying. So my experience of it is as follows. I went to Oxford on the 4th of December last year, and I went to St. Cat's College, St. Catherine's, because that's where I applied. It's not where I'm going, but it's where I applied. So I got the train, I walked to the college, I met some current undergraduates, and they were very welcoming, they were very nice, and they were just there to sort of help us settle in. They had boards saying where and when your interviews would be. I already had a email saying where they would be. They were just in the art history department. But a lot of you will have interviews in your college as well as your department building, but all of my interviews were in my subject department building. So they'll tell you where it is. That's number one. Then usually you'll be there for an evening and a night before your interview. So you'll get free dinner, which is all good, and free university accommodation, so you get to see what it's like. That's always exciting. Then the next day, after having had, well, in my experience, I had about an hour's sleep, because I was actually really ill at the time of my interview, so that was good. That was excellent. So after probably having had quite a small amount of sleep, you go off to your interview, and they basically stretch your brain in a way that it's never been stretched before in the interview situation. The first interview I had was based around my personal statement. They were just easing me into the whole sort of ocean of ouch that was the interview process. Like, it wasn't awful. They were not there to embarrass you or to make you feel like an idiot. They're just there to really test you. So that's all I'm saying when I say the whole sea of ouch thing. So yeah, they talked about my personal statement, what I wrote about in my personal statement, what I wrote about in my essay. I wrote an essay about Coventry Cathedral, which I probably will, by the time this is uploaded, have also put up, which you can read. So we discussed the way architecture, the way that architecture is designed affects its meaning, affects the way that people react to it, affects the way that people feel inside the building, things like that. And they really questioned me until my brain could not do any more. They questioned me until I was sat in the interview room going, I don't know, I'm really sorry. But they didn't do it to make me feel stupid, they didn't do it to embarrass me, they were just trying to see how I thought and just trying to see where my strength and my limitations lay. So that was the first interview. Then I had a while longer to wait, and then the other interviews that I had were based around unseen images. So they were like, here Laura, look at this painting, analyse it. So I had to do basically what would possibly have taken me maybe an hour to work out in about 5 minutes. One of the images I got was a portrait picture, which was sort of like a portrait, but it didn't have a person in it, so it was sort of the background to a portrait but without the person, and I figured that it would be something along the lines of the painter showing the characteristics of the person through the setting where they lived, etc, etc. So it was kind of a sort of postmodernist take on the portrait, which didn't actually show the person, and it played on the whole showing the personality of the person rather than their physical manifestation. So that was just one of the pictures that I got. So yeah, that's basically how my interviews worked. You'd have to ask other people doing your specific subject for subject-specific examples, but that's how mine went. They weren't horrible, they weren't torturous. They were difficult, yes, and they were a challenge, but the way you should think about it is just, it's a cool way to talk to really clever people who are really knowledgeable in where you're interested in. I'm going to sign off now because I'm running out of time, and maybe do another one of these later on. So, bye!